Rodrigo Nogeuira from Fort Lauderdale, Florida versus Jeremy Horn from East Moline, Illinois.
Get a look at Rodrigo Nogeuira as he prepares to walk towards the ring. Sporting a Minotauro Jiu-Jitsu t-shirt from his academy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's accompanied to the ring by Conan Silveira, Alexander Davis, who's a fighter and manager of several of the Brazilian fighters, his twin brother Rogério. And I tell you, at 4-0, this is an impressive fighter, this Minotauro Nogeuira. He has excellent submissions on the ground. He proved that in rings. He's 6'3" to 6'4" tall, 230 pounds, 240 pounds, and his conditioning is unbelievable. This guy can go forever.
Well, his opponent had a great year last year. Jeremy Horn, one of the most active American mixed martial art, no-holds-barred fighters on the circuit today. East Moline, Illinois, 6'1", 219 pounds, 37-4-4. That's a record. That's a lot of fights.
This is a very special match between these two opponents, as well as to the people in the no-holds-barred industry.
A lot of people looking for the outcome of this fight, Tim. You're right.
A lot at stake here.
You get a rising star in Minotauro Nogeuira taking on an experienced veteran.
And Jeremy's got great elbows, striking on the ground, lots of experience, trains with Pat Miletich and a whole lot of other tough guys with that extreme team. And let's go to the tail. I think Minotauro is 23 years old at 6'3", 242 pounds, 76.5 reach. And Horn is 24, 6'1", 219 pounds at 74.5 inch reach. And let's go up to our dapper announcer, TJ Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, World Extreme Fighting is proud to bring you one of the feature bouts of the evening. This will be for the Heavyweight Super Fight Championship. Fighting on my left in the black trunks. His professional fighting record is 4 wins and 0 losses. Fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, please welcome Rodrigo Nogeuira. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, fighting with the black trunks with the white tap-out logo. A professional fighting record of 37 wins, 4 losses, and 4 draws. Undefeated in his last 25 bouts. From East Moline, Illinois, please welcome Jeremy Horn. This bout will be refereed by Kip Polar.
And this is for the World Extreme Fighting Heavyweight
Super Fight Champion, Stephen.
Yeah, Super Fight Champion.
Nice belt displayed by our Hooters ring girl there.
Mark Coleman sitting cage side next to the belt.
Minotauro coming out punching. He took a right hand, though. Horn's been in with some great fighters. He's been in with Frank Shamrock, Ebenezer Fontes Braga from Brazil. He's fought in rings. He is an extreme challenge champion.
I tell you, I do not think this is where Horn wants to be with a grappler the caliber of Minotauro. But I tell you, Horn is an accomplished fighter, and he's shown a great guard in the past. It's going to be interesting to see how this ends up.
Oh, the up kick.
Minotauro will look to pass the guard here.
Two very, very crafty fighters. And he does, only to have himself taken back into the half guard by
Jeremy Horn. Jeremy Horn doing a nice job playing guard there.
There's a little bit of reality and a little bit of a joke with Minotauro. He was evidently hit by a truck when he was a young boy, but they say that the truck took the worst of the wear.
We've all heard all about it, let me tell you.
He's a shooting star for the Abu Dhabi tournament in the year 2000.
He's an excellent grappler.
Looks like he's a pretty decent striker when he was on his feet, too. He's aggressive, yet he's patient. I mean, both these men are working. This isn't just a stalemated thing where they're pulling guard, holding it. They're working here.
Horn doing very, very good at getting Minotauro back in his guard.
And he's keeping him honest with that up kick because that thing he's circling it around, keeping it away from Minotauro can't grab it. It's probably going to be hard for him to land that kick on the chin of the standing Minotauro. He tries a Sakuraba move.
A flying stomp. That's a new one for World Extreme. But that is a legal technique here in World Extreme Fighting.
Mr. Sakuraba in pride sort of patented, a little ground and pound. He sort of patented that flying stomp move.
I've seen him employ that on several instances, Stephen. You're right. If that was to be trademarked or patented by any fighter, I think it would be Sakuraba.
Yes, Mr. Kazushi Sakuraba, arguably the best middleweight fighter around.
Arguably the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, Stephen.
Little ground and pound action. Jeremy's staying back far. Jeremy's chipping away, but Minotauro is the aggressor here.
I tell you, Tim, this is sort of the opposite relationship I thought these two might have in the fight.
Most definitely. I know me and you talked, Wade, about what we thought would happen and could happen, and very good display of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills here.
So we have a restart to standing by our referee, Kip Kohler. Nice low kick by Horn. He's got good defense against the punches there.
I talked to Nogeuira about this fight at length on several occasions, and Minotauro said he would be happy to strike with Horn or grapple with him. So I think he's coming out here knowing that he'll go one way or another with him no matter what.
Jeremy using the cage there to defend the tackle.
Somebody's bleeding. Jeremy's chipping away with those elbows.
I cannot see who's bleeding here. It looked as though the mouth of Horn may have been bleeding, but it's hard to tell.
Looks like there's a little bit of blood of Minotauro's forehead area, left brow.
I can't see that from my perspective here, Tim, but you may be right.
Now I noticed that Minotauro has a little bit of a scar under his right shoulder blade. I wonder if that was where the truck hit him.
Minotauro will tell you that that's where 100 men attacked him with machetes, and that's his only scar. But as Minotauro passes to the side mount here.
He's got the side mount, but Jeremy Horn is still aggressive from the bottom with elbows.
Very calm. Horn, knowing that he's been here many, many times against many great fighters.
I tell you, Tim, and taking a look there, I think you're right. I think over the left eyebrow to left forehead area of Minotauro Nogeuira, there may be a cut. We'll have to see whether that plays into this fight at all.
Most definitely.
Minotauro's getting off real high on that side mount, and this has a wearing effect. He's cooking Horn to a certain degree right now. Nice reversal by Horn. That was beautiful.
Reversal by Horn.
Horn's got to capitalize. Oh, Minotauro turning right back around again. That was very technical.
Looks like Jeremy went to his back there instead of having Minotauro take his back. Good call by Jeremy.
All those punches were blocked. Jeremy's got outstanding defense to his strike.
Some boos from the crowd, but people that follow the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sport and this sport, this is a very exciting matchup here. A lot of technique, a lot of tactic here and strategy.
I agree with you, Tim. Some of the more technical matches may not be the most crowd-thrilling for the general masses, but those who know no holds barred fighting and Jiu-Jitsu especially will know that this is a technical matchup that's just beyond parallel.
One of the things that I've noticed over the card so far is that most of the fighters are grappling oriented because, with the exception of Renato Babalu, there hasn't been a lot of effective striking. There has been busy striking, but they haven't hurt anyone with a strike. They're just...
I tell you, Stephen, I'd have to agree with you. I thought Roman Whitberg came out and was a pretty good striker, but again, he was just as happy to go to the mat, so it's an interesting mix.
He had reputed to have great, devastating strikes, but Huas, maybe it's because he was talented, did neutralize that. And here, these gentlemen are just basically throwing their strikes just to not stall, but they're not trying to do damage with their strikes. It's not like an Igor Vovchanski situation where the guy is trying to knock the guy's head off.
There we see some good boxing display. I'm sorry, Stephen.
That's fine. No, that was a good double jab right hand, and didn't do much damage. Nogeuira is trying to load up now. Nice knee. This may end up to be a striking match because the jiu-jitsu seems to be fairly even on the ground so far.
Exactly, Stephen. And I saw a good left elbow by Jeremy.
Nice combination of hands there, Tim, and you're right. There was a nice elbow.
Nice elbow. Great left elbow by Horn. That was a nice short little turnover on the left elbow.
I tell you,
right elbow. Beautiful.
Horn employing some Muay Thai techniques there, Stephen.
Horn is really closing well on the end of this. He's just turning those elbows right over. Minotauro doesn't seem to have a defense for them in close, so he stays far. Minotauro does have the reach advantage here. Oh, Horn comes raging in with a good three-punch combination. And Horn shoots in. Uh-oh. He doesn't want to give up his back to this man.
Not really sure why he did that, Wade. He seemed to be pretty successful with his boxing. I'm not sure.
I agree with you, Tim. I think that Horn, being the smart fighter that he is, he may have known that the end of the round was approaching there, and rather than get into a last-minute flurry where Rodrigo could steal the round, he may have taken that shot just to neutralize it.
I think Horn stole the round.
What do you think, Tim?
Actually, I do. I saw better cross-training as we go to instant replay.
And here we go to a very nice reversal by Jeremy Horn. That was beautiful, but Mr. Minotauro has his own reversal in mind, and Jeremy gives it up knowing that he might have given up his back in the exchange. Okay, Horn comes in raging with a 1, 2, 3 punch combination. The right hand did the most damage. Turn Minotauro, and then a good knee to the body.
I need you up. I need you up.
Horn's got some good stand-up skills.
Well, we all know Horn's an accomplished fighter, period, and he's certainly bringing a plethora of experience to the ring to a relatively novice Minotauro Nogeuira from a no-holds-barred fighting standpoint.
Horn goes high with the roundhouse. It misses. Minotauro shoots. Horn just gives it up, pulls guard. In a 3 8-minute round fight, conditioning definitely is a factor.
No question about it.
Both fighters taking this fight very seriously, training very hard. I had the opportunity to watch Horn train for this fight, and he cross-trained very hard and took this fight very seriously, as he knew he'd have a very gamed opponent, Nogeuira, as well as I'm sure Wade got some opportunities to watch Nogeuira prepare.
You know, Horn is really applying a lot of pressure on the ground when Nogeuira goes for that. Like he's trying a reverse arm strength there, and Nogeuira really didn't want to engage him on the ground. I think this fight has surprised a lot of people. Some people thought that Nogeuira would walk through Jeremy Horn.
I tell you, I certainly think that Minotauro Nogeuira is someone to be reckoned with, but anybody that thinks somebody's going to walk through Horn, at least on a professional basis, I just don't see it happening. Horn has stood up to the best of them in the ring. He's an excellent fighter.
Yeah, because there's like a close to 30, no, God, it was a great low kick. There's almost a 30-pound weight advantage here for Minotauro and his Abu Dhabi experience. Nice double leg.
Once again to the takedown. And to the half guard of Horn.
Horn's going to work from here.
I'll tell you, I have a chance to train with Minotauro Nogeuira in Fort Lauderdale on a repetitive basis. And Nogeuira is a very, very patient fighter, as I think is Horn. So this is going to be a chess match. There may be some intermingled striking and some kicks that go on, but I think this is going to be a chess match between two game fighters.
So far it has been, and sometimes chess matches are not crowd pleasers. And There's a restart by Kip Kohler, our referee.
Still approximately 6 minutes to go left in the round. Anything could happen.
Oh!
Beautiful high roundhouse by Jeremy.
Partially blocked by Minotauro, but he goes low again. Minotauro shoots again. He doesn't want to stand up with Horn. That's become obvious.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Stephen.
Which makes sense.
Stephen, Tim, I have a question for both of you. If this fight does go to the card, with Horn having the name and the reputation and the experience that he does, do you think it's difficult for the judges, so I'm sure would not be biased, but do you think it's difficult to go against the Jeremy Horn in the decision?
That's an interesting point, but I think that the judges here, because one of them is from Japan, two of the other ones are from statesides. I don't think that that will necessarily be a factor. I don't think there's going to be a home crowd thing.
Yeah, I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. I think that as in any sport, basketball, underneath the boards, the big name players get a little more leniency in what they're allowed to do and the body that they're allowed to put on their opponents.
Jeremy Horn's a likable guy, so any judge or anybody would hate to, score against him. But we're here in neutral grounds, here in Rome, Georgia. Neither fighter being from here, so I believe we'll see a good decision by the judges if it was happened to go
close to that.
It looks like Jeremy is defending the mount fairly well, but Minotauro is kind of cooking him a little bit. But Horn spins out and gets guard. A little tap there by Minotauro. Minotauro can't solve this mystery, though.
I'll tell you, we've seen an excellent display of ground skills by Jeremy Horn.
In a defensive way, he's kind of controlled the fight. Goes for the big left hook there.
Here respond with his own.
Oh, nice high kick by Horn. That was beautiful. And Horn shoots.
We'll see Jeremy roll to his back here.
That was a nice high kick. If it had a little more oomph on it, maybe he would have knocked it down. But it did more to stun, maybe embarrass him.
I tell you, as in most fights, you see Horn's confidence beginning to increase as the fight goes on.
I don't think Horn wants to play this game from this position with this man. If he sinks the other leg hook in, it's going to be difficult for him because there's a big man on his back. Horn does spin out.
Exactly.
He spins out. Good move by Jeremy. Now we're back in the stalemate, down and up position. I expect a restart any moment. There it is.
As they come back to a standing position, Jeremy Horn and Rodrigo Nogeuira about 5 minutes and 15 seconds into the second of 3 8-minute rounds. World Extreme Fighting 8 going platinum in Rome, Georgia. You may notice there, get a good look at the scar on the back of Rodrigo Nogeuira. That scar, in fact, was caused by a severe automobile accident he was involved in when he was a young man. Nice combination of strikes here by Rodrigo Nogeuira to Horn.
Horn did block most of those, but Nogeuira got busy. And he dumps Jeremy down, but then Jeremy grabs his leg, and we're back into a stalemate.
Jeremy Horn perfectly content to come and play guard with a very accomplished scrapper in Rodrigo Minotauro Nogeuira.
Strange thing is that Minotauro does not seem to want to engage him.
2 minutes, guys.
You hear Kip Kohler instruct both fighters. There's 2 minutes left in the round.
There's another high kick by Horn. Goes for the shoot, goes for the single. Nogeuira sprawls back. Nogeuira's got a clean opportunity at a left knee here to the body. Whether he'll take it or not.
Well, you're absolutely right, Stephen. You see Jeremy Horn blocking the knee that could come to his head as they were in the position, which left an opportunity for Nogeuira to bring about a left knee to the body of Horn. Nonetheless, they come into a guard position again.
Expect a high kick by Horn.
They've been effective to this point.
Why not throw another one? But load up this time. See? Right there. If he caught him with the shin, like a Thai boxer, that would have been a knockdown. But he caught him with the foot, not as an effective strike as a shin kick.
I tell you, this is an interesting display here. One fighter bringing the other back to the feet. The other fighter shoots. They seem perfectly content there.
Horn is working. Sorry,
looking for.
He's almost. Oh, mind if Charles spun out, but Horn was going for that back. He was going to go for that back.
This is the first time during the course of the fight we see Jeremy Horn on top and Nogeuira on the bottom. We get a chance to look at Nogueira's guard.
And round 2. I got to say that Jeremy Horn is fighting a very, very smart fight here, and he's controlling the action, Tim.
Yes, he is, Stephen. You're absolutely right. As I mentioned earlier, I can't stress how serious of a fight this is for both fighters. Both fighters prepared very hard, and there's a lot of special interest in this match. So we still have another round to go. So it's one of those fights. Anything can happen. It could sway either way.
Excellent point, Tim. I tell you, interesting paradigm here because as we go to a replay.
Jeremy Horn goes with that right high kick and crack. He catches Minotauro, and Minotauro seems to be puzzled how to solve the mystery of the high kick.
Nice look at the combinations here, Nogeuira against the Horn backed up against the fence.
And Horn virtually blocked every one of those punches. One almost squeaked through. Nogeuira. And here we go to the high kick again, and kaboom! Jeremy Horn seems to be real happy with his performance on the stand-up game. He's landing counter punches and really good high kicks. He's neutralizing Minotauro on the ground. Then we go to round 2. Minotauro comes out jabbing. Horn jabs back. I expect Horn to throw. Oh, good right hand by Minotauro. That was a good shot. Horn clinches him. Gets ready for the Muay Thai knee. And a single. Horn gives it up.
Goes right to the mat. I'll tell you what I started to touch on earlier, Stephen, is that you don't obtain a 37-4-4 record in this day and age of no-holds-barred fighting by being a stupid fighter or by doing reckless things in the ring. And Jeremy Horn is certainly one of the most accomplished no-holds-barred fighters in the game today. Interesting paradigm as Rodrigo Nogeuira advanced to the quarterfinals of the rings. He was one of the last 4 left in the rings A bracket, and Horn lost a bout early. Many felt if that bout was a no-holds-barred fight, that Horn would have won that fight, no problem, but the rings limit striking on the ground, which is certainly one of Horn's advantages.
That's a very good point, Wade. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, it is, because Horn has displayed some striking skills in this match. Good low kick, for instance. Nogeuira throws his own low kick, but it didn't have as much oomph on it. I expect Horn is going to go low, 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 then high again. He's going to throw the high kick again. And see it coming. Nogeuira's got his hands down by his chest. And Horn knows he's going to throw the high kick. He's going to fake the right hand. Oh, spinning back kick. That can hurt. Horn deflects and blocks all of the good right hand counter. He just covered up, waited for an opportunity, then dropped the right hand.
I tell you, you're right, Stephen. Nogeuira had a nice flurry there in appearance, but I don't think many of those shots landed solidly.
Here comes a low kick. The problem with a lot of fighters when they're standing is that they'll show their kick before they do it. They don't throw the jab before they throw the kick. They just throw the kick, and many times the other fighter can just move back. Like Jeremy, double jab, right hand. He's got a pretty educated left jab. And he caught a little bit of that left hook by Nogeuira. Jeremy should throw that right low kick again. Looks like he's going to go with that left high kick, though. Oops. Nogeuira's got to be careful not to punch himself out because he misses a lot of those punches. Horn does have a good cover-up in the stand-up.
Nice knee by Nogeuira.
That was a nice knee. Looks like Jeremy's wanting to catch a second win here. It's going to be a boxing match here.
Once again, back to the overhook, underhook position. Tim, has this fight gone the way that you expected it to, or is this a surprise to you?
This is a big surprise to me. I have the opportunity to train with Jeremy Horn, and I did not expect this type of fight from him. He's been very willing to play with Nogeuira on the ground, and his confidence has he's been overly confident. He's looking to tee off on Nogeuira with a lot of punches when possible, and he's more than obliged to take Nogeuira on the ground as well. So very good stuff by Jeremy Horn. Very impressed.
And I tell you, as Steven touched on earlier, every time that Rodrigo Nogeuira flurries, Horn is more than willing and able to come back out with a counterpunch that seems to be much more effective. It's been Jeremy Horn's fight to some degree.
Nogeuira just tried to get the mount. Jeremy did a perfect elevator, got him back into a loose guard. Nogeuira he lands a little punch there. He's getting busy.
This fight has so much for the different fans of No Holds Barred. We've shown a great display of boxing and stand-up skills, as well as a great display of ground jiu-jitsu skills as well.
I tell you, these are two mixed martial arts, Tim, and that's what the sport has become, as Steven touched on earlier.
Absolutely, Wade.
It's going to be interesting to see Jeremy Horn's high kick and high kick, let's say by Pele, the difference of the power. It so happens to play a factor when he fights Miletich.
Jeremy Horn invites Rodrigo Nogeuira to join him on the mat.
I think one of the problems in mixed martial arts that a fighter encounters in the training is they cannot train on one specific thing and get great at it. So, for instance, a high kick or a punch to be able to knock a person out. They have to, nice low kick. They have to train in so many different elements that they suffer sometimes from the jack of all trades, master of none syndrome. Because you have to know how to defend on the ground and you have to know how to defend standing up. So, for instance, a straight jiu-jitsu player may be able to tap out a mixed martial art player in straight jiu-jitsu, but in a no-holds-barred fight, he doesn't know how to defend a strike, per se, like a Matt Hughes-Pereira situation, and he gets beat.
Coming from a striking and kickboxing background, Steven, have the kicks of Horn been effective so far?
Actually, not to any large extent, no, because he doesn't have as much power as, let's say, a K1 fighter or something. But the thing is, he's scoring points, and the low kicks probably going to have more effect than the high kicks. And it's frustrating to a fighter when you're getting kicked in the face. It throws you out of your game plan because you know that the judge is going to say, "Hey, that's a big-time score."
Steven, do you think that Jeremy Horn has imposed his game plan in this fight?
Absolutely. He's totally imposed his game plan. Minotauro has attempted to impose his game plan, but Jeremy Horn, in a way, has shut him down.
I would have to agree with you to some degree, Steven. It was interesting, a comment that you made earlier was that if only by defense, Jeremy Horn has controlled the pace and neutralized Nogeuira. And I think that's to some degree exactly what's happened in this fight.
Absolutely. Not only by defense, but by defense and by countering with his defense. Every time he does some defensive move, he's just not pulling guard, holding on. He's working for position. He'll throw down like he's going for an arm bar, and he'll hit him. He'll do like he's going to try and elevate him, and then he'll hit him. He'll do something, and then he'll hit him. Just with a little tap. These aren't devastating blows, but they are enough to distract and to go to the judge. The judge is saying that that's a strike and it counts
a score.
Exactly. Okay, 30 seconds left. I think Horn has got the fight under control. The judges may not see it that way, but I see that he is controlling the fight. It looks like he's got on his way to a victory. Coming down to 20 seconds left.
I tell you, he has controlled the fight. I would not be surprised to see this go to overtime, though, Steven. I think from the standpoint of the judges' view so far, as we see a mouthpiece drop out there.
Yeah, that knee knocked the mouthpiece right out of Minotauro. It's going to be a close call, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave the decision to Horn in this particular one. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Minotauro does have a little bit of a nick, it looks like.
Is this been open?
I think Horn has used a really compact, compressed control and counter style and good stand-up. I would have to give him a slight edge in winning the fight.
Exactly, Stephen. We've seen, we've all seen, and I think we can all say that there's a little bit of the Pat Miletich flavor in Jeremy Horn this evening. You know, and that's a good, we'll be seeing more of Pat Miletich later on this evening. But in regards to Jeremy Horn, though, that Pat Miletich flavor is definitely there. You know, Pat has, the potential to shut fighters down. Townsend Saunders, the Macacos, all those exciting fighters that are very deadly, and I think we're seeing that in Jeremy Horn this evening.
That's an excellent point, because it wasn't like a Miletich-esque type performance, because Pat does take a guy out of his game plan and make him look bad. Let's see what the judge is thinking. Let's go up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision. All three judges give the bout to the winner of the heavyweight super fight champion, Rodrigo Nogeuira. President of World Extreme Fighting will give the belt, Mr. Jamie Levine.
That's an interesting decision. I
would have to disagree, Stephen.
I tell you, the fight was very close. I saw it very close, but I felt like, as you said on several occasions, as we see Jamie Levine, the promoter of World Extreme Fighting, strapping the belt on the heavyweight super fight champion Rodrigo Nogeuira. It was a good